All right, let's dive in. Today, we're basically going on an expedition to find something that's buried deep inside all of us. It's like an inner compass. And using some amazing insights from author Robert Greene and neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman, we're going to figure out how to unearth your life's task.
So does this question kind of hit home? You know that feeling when you wake up and you're just not totally sure which way to go? Well, you are definitely not alone. It's a really human thing to feel a little adrift in this ocean of infinite choices.
But what if you had an internal radar? I mean, a real compass that just cuts through all the noise and gives every single day a clear direction. Now, we're not talking about some rigid 5-year plan. No, this is something way more powerful, a guiding sense of purpose.
Okay, so why do we feel so lost at sea in the first place? Well, it all starts with this one fundamental difference between us and pretty much every other animal on the planet.
I mean, think about it, right? Animals are mostly driven by instinct. They're basically born with a built-in user manual for how to survive. We, on the other hand, we're born into this world of endless choice. And while that's an incredible gift, let's be honest, it can also be completely and totally overwhelming.
Robert Greene uses this really powerful metaphor for it. We're lost at sea. Every single morning presents a dozen different potential paths. But if you don't have a compass, you're just drifting. You're just reacting to the waves instead of actually steering your own ship.
But here's the good news. We all have a compass. It's not missing, it's just buried. And digging it up starts with understanding the very thing that makes you, well, you.
So this is the core idea, your primal uniqueness. It's this one-of-a-kind mix of your DNA and all your unique life experiences that has created a person who has never existed before, and get this, will never exist again. That distinctiveness, that's not just some fun fact. That is your greatest source of power.
So how do we actually access it? Well, we start by listening for the echoes of what the psychologist Abraham Maslow called impulse voices. These are those pure, totally unfiltered signals from when you were a kid that tell you, I love this, or ugh, I hate that, long before the world started telling you what you should love.
And you can see these impulse voices showing up in some of history's greatest minds. For Einstein, it was literally a compass and being mesmerized by invisible forces. For Steve Jobs, it was the beautiful, intricate design of electronics. For Tiger Woods, it was just the simple joy of watching his dad swing a golf club. See, these weren't career plans, they were primal magnetic attractions. Think of it like a piece of wood. It has a grain, right? Well, your brain has a natural grain too. It's naturally wired to lean towards certain types of thinking. Maybe it's mathematical or physical or linguistic. Your real power doesn't come from fighting against that grain, but from flowing with it. So, if we all start out with this really clear inner signal, where does it go? Well, life happens, and the noise from the outside world starts to get very, very loud.
That inner voice is crystal clear when you're a little kid, but then, the voices of teachers and parents and your friends start to creep in. And by the time you're an adult, the pressures of society, what's practical, what's cool, what's gonna make you money, can drown out that original voice completely.
And here's the real consequence of that. A lot of us enter the working world basically blindfolded. We're missing our most important tool. And so we make choices based on all these external things, like money or status, not on that deep emotional connection to the work itself.
But there is a way back. It's not some sudden lightning bolt revelation, it's a process. And Greene describes it as a kind of personal archaeology, which I think is a great way to put it.
Okay, so here's the process. Step 1, dig for those childhood obsessions. The things you did for hours and hours just because you loved it. Step 2, pay attention to your body. What activities give you that physical buzz of excitement? And step 3, and this is important, don't ignore what you hate. Strong negative feelings are also powerful signposts, telling you which paths not to take.
And this is the absolute key. As Dr. Huberman points out, this isn't some intellectual exercise you can just think your way through. No, it's about tuning into feelings that are visceral, emotional, and physical. He actually talks about feeling it in his arm, like a literal sense of activation telling him, hey, do something with this.
So what happens when you do this work, when you actually reconnect with that inner voice? Well, the payoff it's huge. We're talking about unlocking a level of energy and focus you might not have ever experienced before.
When you are emotionally connected to what you're doing, everything changes. Suddenly,
The discipline you need to push through the boring parts, it's just there. Why? Because you're being fueled by a genuine, deep-seated interest, not by willpower alone.
And the neuroscience behind this is just fascinating. Emotional engagement floods your brain with chemicals like dopamine and norepinephrine, which basically act like a big save button for new information. It means when you care about something, your brain can learn 2, 3, even 4 times faster than when you're just trying to force it. It's incredible.
Robert Greene tells this perfect story about it. He studied French for 4 years in college, but when he got to Paris, he couldn't speak a single word. But once he was there, immersed, and he actually needed to speak it to connect with people, he learned more in 1 month than in all 4 of those years combined. That right there, that's the power of emotional engagement.
So at the end of the day, this whole thing isn't about finding one single job title that's going to last you a lifetime. It's about finding a direction. It's about finding that compass that will help you experiment and learn and navigate all of life's decisions with a real sense of purpose.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Try to go back to that time before all the outside noise got so loud. What was that quiet, primal voice trying to tell you back then? What childhood echo have you been ignoring?